Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, Australia, I see y'all. And this Erin Patterson down there, her act right is not installed at all. This lady is out of her mind. We need to talk about it. But first, you know what you need to do. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share these videos. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers together. Also, find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky. So look, Miss Erin Patterson. For those who don't know, let me just give you the quick and dirty history. I know you've heard this story, right? Erin Patterson invites some relatives over to her house where she poisons them with death cap mushrooms hidden inside of a beef Wellington. And then when everybody starts falling all out, she's like, oh, what, me? Oh, I can't imagine whatever would have happened. Yes, I ate my food on a different colored plate, and I don't know why they're dead like a carp on the floor over there. I would like to plead oops. And so, look, that's the quick and dirty of the case. Let me tell you what's the latest, right? Okay, so first of all, down there in Australia, they are losing their minds over this case. There's like 25 YouTube channels about it. One channel even has a daily podcast called Mushroom Murders Daily. I see you, Mushroom Murders Daily, and I am here for it. I'm getting all my news from them. Anyway, so Lauren's very attractive attorney, Erin, her very attractive attorney shows up in the court. And picture it, Americans, I know you don't know what they wear in court. In America, you just put on a suit and that's it if you're an attorney. Ooh, down there in Australia, honey, they don a wig, very drag queen style, and then a pussy bow blouse. And I was like, ooh, her attorney is very, very handsome without his little blouse and wig. But I'm like, okay, I might need an attorney too. But not for, unfortunately, unaliving nobody, right? So the very dignified and attractive defense attorney stands up in court and he's like, Your Honor, my client, Erin Patterson, would like to plead oops. She didn't mean to. I mean, it was an accidental unaliving. See, what happened was my client is a true crime fan. And, you know, true crime fans would never commit crimes and get caught for them. She had a new house and she was very, very super duper excited about it. And she's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invite my ex-husband and his mom and daddy over to my house for a very lovely lunch. Now, do I get along with them? Not really, but we've been trying to keep it amicable. So I think the way to further family growth and development is to invite them over to my house. But would they come if I just invited them? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Now, look, this is Lauren's thinking. I keep calling her Lauren. This is Erin's thinking by way of her very hot attorney in the pussy bow blouse. He was like, this is what happened. If I could just explain it to you, y'all will completely understand. Now, she and her husband have been separated for like 10 years and everything was going fine. And then a couple years ago, she's like, wait, I saw on your on your tax papers where you marked single or separated. You're not separated. You need to start paying me child support. And he was like, okay, crazy. Why is this suddenly an issue? I can just, erase out that box. And she's like, no, I want money. And she started making all these crazy demands. Ma'am, you are slightly ticklish of the brain. And everybody kind of knew that, but they were like, she's a little bit unhinged ticklish, not homicidal ticklish, or so they thought. So she invites her in-laws over to her house and they were like, this is good. This is going to heal family relations. And she's like, I need to have a very important conversation with you because I'm dealing with some health challenges and I want to talk to you about how I should break it to the children. And her in-laws were like, oh my goodness, we are lovely, lovely Christian people. We are going to come. And then she's like, oh, also mother-in-law, bring your sister and her husband, because the sister and the husband, that was like the minister and the first lady down to the Baptist church. And she's like, y'all can help me and we can maybe like pray together. Also, because I recently got an inheritance, I built a gorgeous new house. You want to come and see my gorgeous new house. Everything is just so. I work for days and days to make a very, very beautiful meal for you. A beef Wellington. A beef Wellington takes a long time to make. The meat will be so tender. The crust will be so flaky. You're just going to die. I mean, you're gonna love it. And so they were like, this is such a lovely invitation. So they come over to her house. Have y'all seen the house? Yo, the front door is gorgeous. Now, she's not letting the press or the media inside, but that front door, I was like, Okay, that front door was every single thing. Anyway, so she invites them over. I'm sure they were raving over that gorgeous front door, custom built home. They walked around, she gave them the tour, they saw everything. And then the auntie was like, "Oh, you know what? We're redoing our pantry. Can I see your pantry?" She's like, "No. No. You can't go in there." That's where I keep my poison. I mean, that's not what she said, but that's what I feel like she should have been saying. So she was just like, "Everybody sit down. Come on, let's eat. Let's go to my gorgeous custom design dining room and we're going to eat where I've planned out every single thing." And they're like, "Oh, let us help you plate." And she was like, "Absolutely not. Don't touch anything in my kitchen. Just go sit down. I'm going to serve you." And they were like, "Oh, that's not suspicious at all. Not even a little bit." And so she puts the food on the plates. And so she does a beautiful presentation. There's a beef Wellington and some mashed potatoes. Was there gravy? Because a Wellington doesn't typically come with a gravy. And I would like a mushroom gravy with those mashed potatoes. Australia, how do y'all eat potatoes? Are y'all gravy people or you not gravy people? Anyway, so I'm just really distracted by all the delicious food in this story. So she serves a beautiful beef Wellington and some mashed potatoes and some green beans. Oh, I hope they were haricot verts. Oh, the way I love a haricot vert. Anyway, that's fancy French green beans. Anyway, so she serves everything beautifully on these lovely gray plates. And then she has this tiny little orange plate. And they're like, "You took the time to pick out every single thing in this gorgeous house. You have that a stunning front door. Why your plates don't match, girl? How come you have a tiny little plate?" And she's like, no reason. I just like different things. This is the fashion. All three of y'all get big gray plates and I get a small little orange plate. And they were like, "Okay, that's not suspicious at all." And then everybody eats and she's like, "What I'd like to tell you is that I have cancer." Now look, there have been different reports as to what kind of cancer she had. She told some people she has cervical cancer. There are also reports that she had elbow cancer. I don't know how you get cancer of the elbow, but it is just a delicious little tidbit in this story because it is ever so ridiculous. But she was like, "I just wanted to talk to you guys about how I should tell the children about my cancer." And they were like, "Oh, that's real super duper sad. It's too bad the kid's daddy is not here to discuss this with you about the children." And she's like, "Well, I invited him and he was like, let's just talk about it over the phone." And I was thinking to myself, it's hard to poison people over the phone, but okay, I guess I'll talk to you later. And so she was just like, "Thank you so much for coming." And then after the meal, the family was like, "Oh my gosh, that was delicious. That was the most amazing beef Wellington I've ever had. Oh, she's a wonderful cook. I wish I could have seen her pantry. The plate thing was weird, but did you see her front door?" And then they were like, oh, something has gone terribly wrong. And then they visited the loo over and over again all night. And they were like, "Oh no, that delicious beef Wellington must have given me food poisoning. That's terrible." And so they were like, "Boop, boop, 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 hello, 911. Can you come over here? Because we just out of both ends. It's terrible. We might have the neurovirus. It's not entirely possible at all that our lovely niece-in-law could have poisoned us." So the mom and daddy, her husband's mom and daddy, went to the hospital in an ambulance. And they called up her ex-husband, her separated husband, whatever, and was like, "Hey boy, hey, Simon, we're real sick. We think your ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife, maybe gave us food poisoning. It must have been a bad piece of beef, even though it was terrible. I mean, it was wonderful going down. It's terrible coming back." And so he was like, "Oh, let me call auntie and uncle." He goes over to auntie and uncle's house and they just like could barely stand up. And they were like, "Okay, please take us to the hospital." The whole drive to the hospital, the eagle-eyed auntie was like, "Why she got a different plate? I need to know why she got a different plate. Hang on, I'm gonna puke in this bag some more and then I'm gonna ask you more questions about this plate. Is she short of crockery? What is happening with this plate?" Auntie was paying attention. And so Erin, meanwhile, was like, "Oh, people got sick. Oh me, oh my, this is terrible." And so over at the hospital, they were like, "Call her, have her up and ask her what she served and where she got the mushrooms from." Because everybody knows in Australia, apparently, that there's some mushrooms that are super duper deadly and you're not supposed to eat them. So they called her. They were like, "Hey girl, hey, are you sick? You should definitely come to the hospital because they telling us we might need a liver transplant and everything." And she's like, "I've been a little unwell, but not too bad. You think maybe I should come?" Ma'am, people are clinging to life in the hospital behind a meal that you ate, that you claim you had some and you fed the leftovers to your children, but you're like, "I don't know if I should come to the hospital or not. I really don't feel like it." And the relatives were like, "Something wrong with this heifer. Something is very, very wrong with her." So finally she goes to the hospital and she's real shy about like, "Hey, People think I'm lightly poisoned, but I don't think I'm poisoned. So could you just like put one of those clippy things on my finger and then send me home? And they were like, Heifer, we need to check your liver and make sure. She was like, oh, it's medical stuff. I don't like medical things. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to just discharge myself. And they were like, ma'am, if you ate this food and your children ate this food, everybody needs to be checked out. And she's like, but my kids will be scared. And the doctor said to her, honey, your kids can be scared and alive or perfectly comfortable and dead. Bring them kids in here. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go get the kids. I'll be back in 20 minutes. Then she leaves and does not come back. So the hospital was like, boop, 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 boop. Hello, police. Can you go pick this heifer up? Because she might have passed out or something because she's real sick from these mushrooms. So finally she brings the kids in and they sitting there and everybody seems fine. They take Erin's vitals or whatever. And they're like, we have diagnosed her with her heart is beating too fast and her lips are chapped. But other than that, she looks fine. Oh, she's sitting up in the bed and she's talking to people. During the course of the conversation, while she's sitting there talking to her husband and children, number one, she never asks about the sick people. The people that she poisoned, the people who had food at her house, now they are clinging to life in the hospital. She did not pause for 1 minute to be like, how they do it? Are they getting like extra fluids and stuff? Can I offer them a piece of my liver or something? Nothing. She never asks about them. She's just happy to have a little family reunion. Her and her maybe ex-husband and the kids are all sitting around in the room. And the ex-husband was like, hey girl, hey, where'd you get the mushrooms from? You know, I know you have not given anybody a straight answer about it, but I figured, you know, they sent me in here to ask you real sly, like, so do you like mushrooms? And the daughter was like, it's a good thing I don't like mushrooms. And the mother, Erin, over talking as usual. I know a little something about that life. Child, I too failed shut up class. Anyway, Erin was like, well, you know, I forage mushrooms all the time and then I dehydrate them and then I powder them. And I know, little daughter, you think you don't like mushrooms. What you don't know is I've been hiding mushrooms in all of your food, especially lately. What? What? You did what, ma'am? She's like, I've been foraging lots and lots of mushrooms. I got a high-end fancy food dehydrator while I was at the appliance store. I could have bought some matching plates, but apparently I didn't think that was important. I thought nobody would notice, but I got this very expensive food dehydrator. And yep, I've been drying and grinding mushrooms. Oh, I put them in cookies. I put them in brownies. So joke's on you, daughter. You do like mushrooms. And she's like, Mom, oh my gosh, I really hope you didn't try to unfortunately unalive me. I mean, I don't know that's exactly what she said, but that's the spirit of what she said. So they checked out the kids and they check out Erin. And the only thing Erin had was dry lips. Okay, ma'am, they could give you some chapstick and discharge you. And she's just like, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with those other people. I'm devastated. Oh me, oh my. And they were like, ma'am, where is the rest of the Wellington? And she's like, well, after they fell ill, I just scraped it in a bag and I put it in the bottom of the garbage can because that's where I hid it, hoping that you would never find it. And the police were like, boop, 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 hello, crime scene. Can you go to her house? Kick down that gorgeous front door. Oh, I hope they didn't harm that beautiful door. And dig through the bottom of her trash can and see if you can find the Wellington. She says it's in a bag. And so they get the beef Wellington and they put it in a taxi and rush it off to the lab. Why they put it in a taxi? Shouldn't a police? What if the taxi driver was a greedy guts like me? I would have been like, this smells delicious. Let me, and then I would have needed a liver transplant, which is why I am not associated with crimes or the police because I'm a skosh irresponsible. Anyway, so 6 days after this meal, y'all, folks are dropping like flies. Not dropping over ill, dropping over dead. D-E-A-D, dead. First, her husband's parents die. The women die first, right? Her mother-in-law passes, and then the mother-in-law's sister passes. Oh, rest in peace, auntie and mama. And then the husband, her father-in-law, passes away. And everybody is like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now, the uncle, who is a minister, by the way. Oh, he must have been leading a good life because everybody's wiped out in this story but him. He gets a liver transplant and he survives. Yay, uncle. Only now you got to be here without your wife. You know, all them little widows down to the church are like, we're going to make you a casserole. Oh, let us help heal you. This is tragic how much money you got. Anyway, so Erin is just like, oh, this is devastating. I'm very upset. Once she left the hospital, she went to her house and she threw out the very expensive food dehydrator. You think she went and bought some matching plates after that? I'm guessing no. But anyway, that's just me. I get distracted by little details and stuff. She threw out the Wellington. We knew that. She threw out the food dehydrator and she's like, I just felt like it had like bad juju or something. Also poison in it. And so now in court, the police are getting up and they're testifying and they're talking about everything they found. And her very attractive lawyer in the pussy bow blouse and the wig was just like, hi, I'm here doing court drag. And I just want you to know, you are not thinking about this the right way. On the heels of her family members being unfortunately unalived by her, maybe she panicked. I mean, don't you panic when you accidentally, unfortunately, unalive 3 of your family members and attempt to unfortunately unalive your ex-husband, allegedly, because she's innocent until proven guilty? And he's like, right now, as she sits there in them handcuffs, looking pitiful and pathetic, she is innocent, unless and until the Queen's Court or whatever proves her to be guilty. So you have to keep thinking of her as innocent despite this giant mountain of evidence against her. If you need a defense lawyer, please call me right away. I'm very expensive. Look how gorgeous I am. Anyway, that's probably not what he said, but that's what I feel like he should have said. Anyway, he was just like, so yes, she lied about some things, but only because she was panicking. She lied about the food dehydrator because, see, also, oops, she lied about foraging mushrooms. Also, she was real nervous. She lied about having cancer. Ma'am, they might convict you on the strength of you're not supposed to lie about cancer at all. Elbow cancer, uterine cancer, whatever kind of cancer it was, you're not supposed to lie about it. But her very attractive defense attorney was like, she just panicked. And so the state, I don't think they call it the state down there. I think they call it the Crown. The Crown is like, we are going to call in a mushroom expert to testify in this case. And I was like, oh, I did not know there was such a mushroom. I did not know there was such a thing as a mushroom expert, but 30-year mushroom expert. He been studying mushrooms for 30 years. I didn't know it was that much to learn about mushrooms, but okay. Dr. Tom Mays takes the stand. And I was like, boom, boom, boom. And they were like, Dr. Tom Mays, please tell us about your history. And then he briefly goes over 30 years of history. And they were like, do you go by any other names, doctor? And he was like, yes, I participate in many online forums about mushrooms. Okay, I know there's all kinds of people. I didn't realize there was mushroom people, but okay. And he was like, but online, my screen name is Fun Guy. Sir, you're fungi guy? You're a fun guy. Okay. Dr. Fun Guy? Anyway, he's just like, so us mushroom enthusiasts, what we do is we go out and we forage for mushrooms and try and find the ones that won't kill people. And then we pluck them and then we make like cream of mushroom soup and beef Wellington and other assorted dishes. And I was like, okay. But apparently down there in Australia, there's a whole website for all the mushroom enthusiasts. And they're like, oh, I found some non-poisoned ones here. Here, let me drop a pin. I found some other non-poisoned ones here. Let me drop a pin. So the other people can go and find mushrooms that won't unfortunately unalive their whole family. Dr. Fun Guy was just like, oh, I found some super duper deadly mushrooms. Let me drop a pin right here so people know to stay away from them. Here's the thing that is sort of blowing my mind about the case. The mushrooms that Erin found were put on the Fun Guy map by Dr. Fun Guy. He's the one who told her where to find the mushrooms. And then she was like letting her Google fingers do the walking. She sees the map where the deadly mushrooms are. And she's like, oh, that's where I'm going to go. Now, I'm not making that up. That's what her phone pings said. She made 2 trips to the exact location where deadly death cap mushrooms were located, where she just, what does she, hang out? She foraged those mushrooms that the doctor told her where they were. Here's the thing that's so crazy. Poison season is very very short. These mushrooms are only available for a very short time, limited time only. You can poison your family too. And so he was like, they only last in the field for like a couple of weeks. So you got to pick them up right away if you plan to poison your family accidentally. And so she was just like, oh, let me get there immediately on winged feet and go and get the stuff. And she was just like, it was an accident. Didn't my lawyer tell you that I'm pleading oops? I never sought them out. Never, never, never would I seek out deadly mushrooms and then feed them to my family and come up with a very bad excuse while standing in front of my front door of my gorgeous new house. And I was just like, this heifer, I don't know what to say about her. Number one, she's not good at crime. Number two, she got first pancake behavior. Now listen, those who are new may not know, we have a theory here at Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. That first pancake never turns out right. Try as you might. The pan is hot. The butter is good. You put the batter in. That first pancake never turns out right. The rest of the pancakes, they're fine. Now, I don't know if she is a firstborn child, but she got a whole lot of first pancake behavior. This trial rolls on. It's expected to go on for like another 2 weeks or so. Y'all, I will be updating you. I will let you know what happened. I will be clutching my pearls. I will be keeping a trained eye on he of the gorgeous wig and the pussy bow blouse. And I will let you know what happens. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel. We are going to get to 20,000 subscribers together. I'll see you next crime. Bye.